This is Ziggy Berkeley, and you are listening to yet another awesome podcast on the Four-Eyed Radio Network. And hey, when you're done here, if you like James Bond 007, why not check out my podcast, Her Majesty's Secret Podcast, with new episodes dropping every other Monday on The Fern. And if you're really into James Bond, you can enter the Dial-A-Henchman contest. Want to know more? Go to hermajestyspod.com/contest, and you could win something from the James Bond 007 universe. Meanwhile, enjoy the show.
Starfleet Escape Podcast. Prepare for launch in 3, 2, 1. Enjoy the ride.
Welcome to the Starfleet Escape Podcast on the Four-Eyed Radio Network, where we escape into the Star Trek universe. This is episode number 37 and is being recorded on April 4th, 2014. Today's topic, Federation/Starfleet First Contacts. I'm Marty.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Ashley. This episode is brought to you by Raven Designs. Illustrations and designs that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Marty reads line. Okay. Hello.
Shut up.
I didn't say
Wow.
Ashley reads line.
So hostile.
So how's everyone doing this week?
It's been a week.
Indeed it has.
For me, it's been a while.
It's been a while. Marty hasn't been on in, like,
A month.
10 episodes. I don't know.
something like that. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a
4
long
episodes,
road.
Something like that.
Getting from there to here. Oh,
Yeah, oh.
Enterprise.
Brings a tear to my eye every time.
Mine too, for different reasons.
So guess who I got as my captain, who I would be?
Oh,
I got Kirk from the JJ verse.
interesting.
But Chris got Janeway.
What are we talking about?
Who you would be as a captain?
Was this like a online quiz or something?
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that.
Yeah, you did.
When I did the Star Trek quiz for the characters, I got Will Wheaton.
What?
Will
I'm
Wheaton?
sorry.
You got
It's
Will?
okay. But actually, we have quite a bit of Will Wheaton news.
Yes. Speaking of which, Ashley, how do you look in a Will Wheaton cadet uniform?
I don't know. I haven't tried.
Wouldn't you like to find out?
Oh my.
So, Will Wheaton appeared on the
It's Will Wheaton.
appeared on the most recent episode of The Big Bang Theory entitled "The Indecision
Amalgamation.
Amalgamation." Bleh, mouthful there. Which do any of you watch The Big Bang Theory?
I do watch the Big Bang Theory.
Mm-hmm.
I catch it every now and then. I'm not a regular
I
watcher
don't watch
of
it
it.
live.
You don't watch it live,
Yeah.
so you've never been in studio audience.
No, I mean like when it's playing new on NBC, CBS. I don't know which one it's on.
Right.
CBS.
CBS. I don't even watch those channels anymore. I watch like history, Hitler all the time.
Or
Oh, God.
Ancient Aliens.
I love how that's on the History Channel.
There's
Yeah.
another one called H2.
Yes.
There's one I watched called Hangar 1. I want to say
What is it?
Hangar 1, and it's about alien
Ooh.
things.
Alien
If you
things?
believe in that.
So, did you guys watch this episode?
I know I didn't.
No, I did not see this episode.
I didn't either.
I'm sure he was great in it, though.
Because he's Will.
He's playing himself, so...
Oh, what better than?
I mean, I've seen episodes where he's been in Big Bang Theory, and he's pretty funny. So,
yeah, I
good for
remember
him.
there was one where he was bowling against the other guys,
Yes.
and they had Wesley
Riveting.
Crushers.
Yeah. Rest
But it was like, oh, it's like you're fans of him and not crushing Wesley. Okay.
It was a riveting.
Yes, this is a riveting topic. Moving on.
Moving on to more Will Wheaton news.
Will Wheaton has announced his new television series on the Sci-Fi Channel called The Will Wheaton Project.
Isn't that a housing
No.
Oh no, that's Kirk.
That was Kirk.
It's like the Shatner Project, I think.
It says it's a weekly 30-minute show where Will Wheaton will provide his insider point of view, sense of humor, and expertise as he dissects the week's most popular and trending topics across sci-fi film, television, and pop culture, as well as video games, viral videos, and news.
Can I ask you where he gets his expertise? I mean, I know he was on Star Trek.
Because he's been a nerd for all of his life.
I know
He's like a professional nerd.
Well,
Yeah, so I mean, I don't have sci-fi, so I won't be watching the show. It sounds interesting, though. If you have sci-fi, I encourage you to watch it. As Marty shakes his head no. He's anti-Will Wheaton.
I'm not anti.
Will Wheaton?
He's like Sheldon
No.
from Big Bang Theory, with his hatred for Will Wheaton.
Way to tie that all together.
I try.
ThinkGeek was added again this year with their April Fool's products. This year they had 2 Star Trek products. First was the Rosetta Stone to learn to speak Klingon, and an Enterprise Frisbee that included the secondary hull.
Yeah, so did you see this?
Yes.
I saw the video for Michael Dorn.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
I think they should really do it.
I think they should too.
Maybe. Well, ThinkGeek has a history of making their April Fool's jokes a reality.
Yeah.
So.
But the Frisbee, don't you guys see a little problem with it being a Frisbee?
Well,
exactly.
End on it. It's going to pull itself out.
The description was great. It was like the disc will spin, and then the secondary hull stabilizes behind it.
Sure.
Yeah, they had a little GIF that was going around where it showed the saucer spinning.
Mm-hmm.
I like their tagline. It's the most fun you can have without anti-gravity, a bottle of Saurian brandy, and 4 tribbles. I thought that was funny.
And who doesn't love triples?
Oh, I love triples.
Did you see the other April Fool's jokes?
No.
I tried to stay away from that day as much as possible.
Well, from ThinkGeek.
No.
Oh, yeah. One of my friends is really big into Nerf, and so I saw that Nerf photo or that Nerf nuclear bomb thing.
Yeah.
And where it goes in all directions.
I want that so badly.
I hope they actually make it.
That is epic, and it has like a launcher too that launches that, and then explodes in all directions. I so want that. If they make it, I will buy it.
Yeah. Anything exploding, I don't care how soft it is, it's going to hurt you.
It's a Nerf thing.
Nerf hurts.
It's Nerf or nothing.
There you go.
And he's a Nerf herder.
And they're wrong.
Yeah, wrong podcast.
People will understand it, though.
What?
People will understand what I mean.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've never seen Star Wars. No, I'm kidding.
Star Wars.
Did you see the Mr. Beard?
The what?
The Mr. Beard.
Isn't that what you use?
Yeah. So it's like they had these little K-cups of different beard styles.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
And you put them in the machine, and then you place your face into it. And then you come back, and then you have an instant beard mustache. May 23rd to 24th at 8 p.m. at Symphony Hall in Boston, Leonard Nimoy will host 2 performances of Out of This World with Leonard Nimoy.
Oh, yeah.
It's in Boston.
Please tell me you guys are going to that.
I'd love to.
We'll see, maybe, possibly.
Depends on how much it is.
Let's see for ticket information. Let's do this. The tickets range from $24 to $94.
That's really bad.
So $24 will probably get you into the nosebleed section.
Yeah.
We need the binoculars.
Let's see here.
I have binoculars. That's fine.
Oh, yeah, the $24 ticket, you're all the way in the back.
Yeah. You're at the top, right?
Yeah, the second balcony all the way in the back.
I've been there before on the second balcony. It's not that bad. You can still hear everything the same.
So we talked about Cosmos in our last episode as well. Did you guys see the last episode of Cosmos?
I'm trying to catch up on it.
I did.
I haven't.
So in this most recent episode, Patrick Stewart voiced William Herschel in an animated segment of the Cosmos. Yep, so we have a link in the show notes. I believe the link has the actual segment from Hulu posted right in there if you guys want to take a look at it. and you can tell it's, Patrick Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his voice is undeniable.
Yeah.
All right. Star Trek Continues released a teaser image for its next episode.
Ooh.
The episode will have something to do with the Mirror Universe. Yeah, because they got the big Mirror Universe logo.
Yeah.
And the logo's red for
I like
death.
I like how they did it.
For con.
I like how the Mirror Universe insignia makes the eye and continues.
Yes.
Oh.
Otherwise, it would be Kant and News. Star Trek, Kant News.
And this was posted on April Fool's Day, so some people were posting, "Hey, this better be real."
They actually confirmed it was real.
They did.
They said it was no joke.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for this because it'll almost be a sequel to Mirror Mirror.
Right, exactly.
I think I
And plus, I want to see Vic Mignogna all crazy as Crazy Kirk.
Oh, lordy.
I wonder if they'll do a Mirror Universe episode like Enterprise did and have it completely in the Mirror Universe, or if they'll have a
Mix.
or if they'll have a mix. So that would be cool. I kind of hope they do that.
Me too.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yes, indeed.
I can't wait for the costumes.
There's going to be some interesting costumes.
Mainly because I want to see Michelle Specht in one of those
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
sexy lady costumes.
What?
Have any of you guys seen or remember watching, because it's been so long ago, but Starship Exeter? Does anyone remember that?
Not really.
I don't remember Tuesday.
So
Well,
it was about it was supposed to be, I believe, a 4-part series where they released 4 sections of one episode.
Yeah.
The last section hasn't been released. So it's the long-awaited final act in the episode, which the act prior to this, I believe, was released in 2005.
What?
So it's been
9 years?
9 years since it's been released.
finally.
That's insane.
You have a different crew because they're all dead. No.
Well, it was filmed. I guess from what I was reading, there was just some editing and stuff that
Well,
just
they filmed all of it at once, and
it just didn't get done for one reason or another.
For 9 years.
Well,
I
I mean,
haven't gotten
it's
around to it.
independent.
I could do it at some point, but I'm gonna wait 5, 9, 10, maybe 11 years.
Well, I mean, did you guys remember watching it at all?
I've never watched it.
Never watched it. There's an Andorian in it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so you'll like that. But I remember liking Exeter, Starship Exeter, when it came out.
Let's see, 2005. I got married then. Pretty much a blur from then to now.
Yeah, a lot has happened in those 9 years for myself as well. I would have to rewatch the whole thing before I could watch it, because I would have no idea what's going on.
Of course you wouldn't. It's been 9 years.
Yeah.
Hey guys, the final tally of the Star Trek Axanar Kickstarter reached $101,171 with 2,123 backers.
That is awesome.
That is 10 times their original amount. I'm absolutely thrilled that Axanar is being so successful right now. Today they just announced the lady who played Ellen Ty in Battlestar Galactica. She will be the female captain in Axanar. She'll be a female captain.
So they got her and the husband from it too.
Yeah, because he's gonna be playing Robert April, but she's playing a completely different
Captain.
character. Yeah.
That's nice.
So moving on to the next segment of the show, would you buy it?
Now I'm just going to say right now, yes, because I already saw it. I am going to buy it.
Oh yeah, I'm getting this.
I'm getting casted on this stuff.
I would. So
Where can we
3
get it,
yeses and a no. We'll be talking about Warnog,
Warnog.
officially licensed beer with Klingon branding.
Yes.
Supposed to be available for sale starting at the end of last month. I don't know where it's going to be distributed.
check your liquor stores.
Well,
I don't know what liquor stores are selling this.
First, I was.
Oh my gosh! Warnog is an actual thing.
Yes.
From Star Trek?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a Klingon traditional beer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot
it's
about
a
that.
beer.
It was in the episode Rightful Heir.
Hope to eventually try this someday.
It says this version of Warnog is planned to be of the German Dunkelweizen style, whatever that is.
Dunkelweizen, I believe, is like a Hefeweizen, so it's more wheatish, kind of a white beer, but...
It says a modern aroma of predominantly mild banana and clove.
Yeah, because that reminds me of Klingon.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Whenever Worf is walking around.
It was like bananas and cloves.
Bananas.
But I love cloves, actually. Cloves. Where it's at.
Did you see Picard in his ready room saying, "Mr. Worf, you have an unbelievable bouquet"?
I don't want him to ever say that. It's horrible.
This beer is made by the same people that made the Vulcan Ale, huh?
I never had the
that
Vulcan
either.
Ale.
Yeah, I'm on the website right now. It's called Federation of Beer.
That's boring. That sounds nothing like Warnog.
No, that's the company. I mean, Federation of Beer.
Yes, the company.
Oh.
I don't know. I never really... I wonder if they just make novelty beers.
They could.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of those. I mean, a few weeks ago I had one that was like this 8-bit beer, like video game beer. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's basically like the design of the can was pretty much the only thing that
Right.
was awesome about it.
How did it taste?
Bad.
8 bits. So, moving on to the topic of the show. In honor of First Contact Day, which will be April the 5th, we will cover some of the first contacts in Star Trek history. On our show notes, we'll have a list from Memory Alpha that you can click on, and you can see all of the first contacts that have been listed.
In all of Star Trek. It's a huge list.
Woohoo. It's a huge list. So maybe we'll go over some facts about first contacts here.
Yes.
Yes.
So, in Nemesis, it was mentioned that Captain Picard represented the Federation during first contacts with 27 different alien races.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. I wonder if that's all with the Enterprise, or if he did any diplomatic duties on the Stargazer.
I would have to assume that the majority of them are from the Enterprise.
Right.
Just because that was their whole mission, to go farther than they have before.
Right, because the Stargazer doesn't really look very diplomatic.
No, it was more of a scientific vessel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the USS Voyager made the most first contact since James Tiberius Kirk during his journey through the unexplored Delta Quadrant from 2371 to 2378.
Which makes sense, because the whole... It's like every time they came across an alien race, it was a first contact. It was stated in the Voyager episode In the Flesh that Starfleet Command Instruction Directive 010 stated that before engaging alien species in battle, any and all attempts to make first contact and achieve non-military resolution must be made.
In the Flesh. Is that one with 8472?
Exactly.
Okay. That makes sense.
That was when 8472 was disguised as the Starfleet. They had that Starfleet holographic ship.
Where they had the Boothby?
Exactly, Boothby, and they were trying to train like human infiltration.
Right, that was a good episode.
It was a really good episode. Voyager had a lot of those, by the way.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I didn't say anything.
You were going to.
I was thinking it. I didn't say it. So, occasionally, official first contact takes place years or even decades after members of the species involved have first met. Typically, first contact is only initiated by the Federation if a civilization is sufficiently advanced and has developed interstellar travel, warp travel, for example. Contact with more primitive civilization is prohibited by the Prime Directive. It's been stated that the preferred method is to privately approach scientists and intellectual leaders to make the initial contact, on the assumption that they would more easily grasp the concept of alien life.
That's why I think if aliens are going to come to Earth, they're going to contact Neil deGrasse Tyson first.
Possibly. I would. Or maybe, well, Stephen Hawking is kind of anti-aliens.
Yeah.
He thinks they're going to kill us all.
Which, I mean, well, listening to his arguments,
It's a possibility.
that's a huge possibility, because we're going to be like nothing to an alien species.
Right.
So, anyways.
I hope they like us.
So what are some good first contacts?
Vulcan.
Whoa!
So Vulcans were the first alien species that humans made contact with.
Officially.
Officially. There was an episode in DS9,
Little Green Men.
exactly, where some Ferengi crash landed in Roswell, New Mexico.
What?
But that technically wouldn't be Starfleet.
A human.
But it's still first contact.
Yeah, I guess. But they wouldn't tell anybody about it.
Right.
No, but it's like they wouldn't go out in public, hey, look what we got.
We found aliens.
These huge eared.
Weather balloons.
That one must be the female.
Seems
If you watched the episode, I'll have to show her the episode.
It's a funny episode.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
Because both sides have like this funny way of seeing how they interpret each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So we saw Vulcan First Contact in the movie Star Trek First Contact.
Say what? There's a whole movie based on First Contact?
Well, mainly the Borg, but
Yeah,
First Contact, they snuck it in there at the end.
I know.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a paradox, basically, what the movie is in order for us to have initiate First Contact, the Enterprise E would have had to go back in time to stop the Borg from stopping First Contact.
Yeah, it's like a predetermined paradox, like a self-determinated paradox.
Borg would have been the first contact, and then nothing would have existed.
Right. The Earth would have been assimilated. They probably would have moved to Vulcan.
Mm-hmm.
Probably most of the Alpha Quadrant would be.
Yeah.
And I think this is where the Federation kind of gets their rule about making first contact with only warp-capable species, because that was pretty much the Vulcan principle.
Mm-hmm.
They said that humans were too primitive otherwise.
Yes.
So that means Vulcans knew about us for a long time. It's just they didn't care because we were, on a backwaters planet where, we don't even know how to fly in space.
Right.
So the next one on our list is Andorians, which is my favorite. And in the Andorian incident in Enterprise, while the initial first contact was bad because the Andorians essentially kept the humans hostage in the Pajem Monastery, towards the end of the episode, Archer allowed the Andorians to leave with proof of the Vulcan listening post. So even though this strained human and Vulcan relations, as a result, Archer and Shran began to trust each other and become friends over the years of the series, and eventually that led to the Coalition of Planets.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I was so excited about that episode. When it first came out, when I saw the promo for it, I'm like, oh my god, Andorians!
Here's the thing, I've said this before too, a long time ago probably, but I like the guy that played him.
Yeah, Jeffrey Combs. He's one of the best Star Trek actors, too.
They use him all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things I was having trouble with was finding good first contacts, because obviously for good storylines you need kind of like...
You need conflict.
So going through it, the only one that popped in my head was Vulcan First Contact.
Well, in the Mirror universe, we saw how that first contact didn't go so well.
Yeah.
Not for the Vulcans.
Right. Great for us.
Right.
The next one was the Zorillians from Enterprise Unexpected. This is the episode where they find the Zorillian ship in their warp trail wake, and they have that misunderstanding, but then they have this cultural exchange, and Trip helps them repair their engines, and he unexpectedly gets pregnant. Yeah, so it was kind of weird because the female Zerillian was showing him the holodeck like technology, and there was these crystals where they put their hands in, and from that, I guess they exchanged some DNA, and it was like his arm. There was like a growth on his. Was it his arm?
Yeah, it was the arm.
Yeah. And then there was like a. Yeah, they had to find him again, but I think that was like a weird first contact, but it wasn't bad. It was cool because humans were first exposed to some pretty advanced technology through that first contact.
Right, and it's kind of weird that the Klingons end up getting this holodeck technology. And then
that's right.
Yeah, and then you never see the holodeck again until the next generation. Although you do see it in the animated series.
Yeah. And Star Trek Continues had that bit where they had the holodeck technology.
Right.
I don't think the Klingons, even though they got it, I really don't think that they would really use it that much. Moving on, another Enterprise first contact was from the episode Civilization. It was significant in the fact that it was the first human-initiated first contact. And despite Vulcan advice not to contact the primitive Akali homeworld, Captain Archer took a landing party to the surface, and in doing so, they uncovered a covert mining operation by another species, the Malurians, which eventually would get wiped out by Nomad in the original series.
What is a Malurian?
They're kind of like a lizard-looking species. They're like reptilian, and they've got scales, and it's kind of crazy. But it was a good episode.
I'll have to. This will be up to be one that I rewatch.
Yeah, because they actually, if I remember it correctly, they kind of went undercover.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Right. So this was a pre-warp species.
Yes. But they were being taken advantage of by a spacefaring species.
Yeah.
Which were the Malurians.
The Enterprise didn't know that at the time.
Exactly. They uncovered the plot.
Wonder if the Vulcans knew about it.
Well,
No, they are at the time.
You mean if they knew about the mining operation?
Yeah, them being, used, basically.
I wonder.
I feel like the Vulcans would just let it happen.
Yeah, because they don't get involved.
Yeah, so kind of like non-interference, even though another species is interfering.
That Archer would get involved. That's why they said not to go.
Right. Because they knew what he would do.
Troublemaker?
So next, the Tamarian, who were first seen in Darmok. Now this is an interesting first contact.
Yes.
Because you have no idea their intentions when they basically kidnap Captain Picard and transport to the surface, and then block the transporters.
And talk and babble.
Yeah, they have a very unique way of communicating in, like, metaphors.
Luckily, they were all in English.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Did you notice how the Universal Translator just learns new species languages like that?
Wow, it's like a science fiction show or something.
Well, I'm sure they weren't unknown because they did have them in their database.
Right.
So I'm sure some species that they've encountered knew of them. Maybe they were absorbed into the Federation and gave them that data.
All I remember in their speech was something about Jalad and Denegra.
Well, yeah, I mean that was one of the metaphors that they were using, but I mean you can assume that the translator did the English translation, but because there's no context of the story.
Well, what I would have loved is if Picard goes, two can play at this. He pulls out Shakespeare.
Well, that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to relate.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. They end up
becoming friends.
Spoiler: the captain of the Tamarian ship gets killed in the episode. But Picard is able, once he is transported back onto the Enterprise, converse with the Tamarian ship and let them know what happens. So this is a highly regarded episode.
Yes.
Star Trek: The Next Generation.
I highly regard it.
Indeed.
I regard it highly.
And it's an episode that has the Captain Picard alternative uniform on, which we discussed.
I love that
in
uniform.
the last episode. Actually, Marty, you should have been here because we talked about Anovos selling that uniform.
Yeah, they have it up for pre-order, but it doesn't come with the gray shirt underneath.
Doesn't?
No. See, I knew Marty wouldn't like that.
What's the use in it? What's the use of it then?
Exactly. That's why it was a
get
no
your
buy.
own gray shirt.
But it's not
That gray shirt is like a special color and a special make.
Yes, thank you. See, Marty knows what's up.
True that.
He's got my back.
Next up, we have the Malcorians from the episode First Contact.
Not the movie First
Not the
Contact.
movie, but First Contact, The Next Generation. Is actually a very interesting episode.
It is.
An injured Commander Riker, during a reconnaissance mission, threatens the prospects for first contact with a culture on the verge of warp travel. And this is another weird thing where you kind of see it again and again in the Federation, where they'll kind of spy on these pre-warp civilizations to see what's going on.
Yeah, we learn that more and more as they spy on people, and it's not that they don't interfere, but they're there anyways.
Well, and we saw that the prime example of that was in Insurrection.
Insurrection, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That whole beginning when the movie started, you were like, wow.
Like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And there's also an episode of The Next Generation with a proto-Vulcan species.
Yes.
Where they also have that duck blind, and they're kind of spying on these guys that are nowhere near warp technology. They're not pre-warp. They're nowhere near warp.
But see, the thing is, the Federation is still a scientific organization, so obviously they would want to study how cultures develop on different levels of technological scale.
Yeah.
From a purely scientific point of view.
How fast they go from one point to another.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I would just think that they would be afraid of risking cultural contamination.
I'm afraid
as long as they, don't screw it up.
Yeah, I'm
Which it seems like it happens more often than not.
From what we've seen, because of conflict, we need the conflict for the story.
We need the conflict.
It'd be a pretty boring episode if they're like, oh yeah, this first contact's going really well.
Yeah.
And nothing's going to happen here. Roll credits. What I thought was interesting about this episode, First Contact, was the Malcorians declined the offer for First Contact because they wanted more time to be prepared.
To develop, yeah.
Which I thought was a very mature response. It showed that their race had promise.
It's something that you don't see, though. We always see when it goes, oh, okay, we'll have First Contact. Either it ends up being bad, good, but it ends up happening. And in this case, they're like, no.
It's kind of like alien conspiracy theories that we have now. I'm not saying they're real, or they're true, but I'm saying that people have these ideas that the government knows that aliens have come in contact with them, but they're not releasing it to the public because they don't know what the public will do.
Yeah.
And it's sort of similar to what happens in this episode.
So what about when a First Contact goes bad? We have a lot more examples of that.
Oh, I know.
Right.
Bada boom.
It is Klingons, but I don't think they're bad. Not all of them. Worf isn't bad.
Well,
no, but the First Contact situation was bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The guy running from the farm.
And he gets shot with a plasma rifle.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty cool.
That's not bad.
That was a cool scene, I thought.
It's not bad, but it's not good either.
True.
He almost ends up dying. I wouldn't say this is a bad First Contact, though, because the Enterprise is able to deliver the Klingon, and I forgot his name, but they're able to transport him safely back to the Klingon Empire and expose the plot that the Suliban were trying to do, whatever. I forgot.
Suliban. That's another bad...
That was a bad First Contact.
Yeah.
But it does fit the description that the First Contact for Klingons was quote-unquote disastrous.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty bad. I mean, we shoot a Klingon. He almost dies.
Mm-hmm.
And it could have ended up really worse than it did. And it almost did, if Archer hadn't gotten involved.
I don't know. We'll talk about this a little bit more in my Quantum State of Flux.
Ooh. I wonder what that's about.
So next we have the Gorn from the original series, episode Arena.
Yes.
Yes, they're just lovely, lovely species.
My favorite captain almost gets killed by it.
That's true.
Captain?
Did you see this episode?
I don't think so, but
No.
I've seen I've seen.
You've probably seen a lot of clips.
I do have the Hallmark ornament that has the scene enacted.
Yes.
The first contact with the Gorn occurred in 2267 when they attacked the Federation colony on Cestus 3. The Gorn saw the strike as a preemptive move since they regarded that system as part of their territory.
Which we didn't know.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it's an interesting episode.
But it's also a test in a way because we made first contact with another species during the episode. The wasn't it the Metrons?
They had like powers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the ones that were monitoring this, and Kirk's like, "I'm not going to kill him for your sick game."
Right.
And it's like, "Ooh, you've displayed the trait of mercy."
How evolved of you.
Yeah, so it's like they were judging us for first contact.
Mm.
So that's the other side of the coin.
They have powers like, say, Q or...
Yeah, I mean, they were able to like go boop and transport Kirk onto the planet.
Yeah.
And they said that they created that planetoid for
Just that reason, right?
that reason, to test the Gorn captain and Kirk.
Yeah.
So what I'm wondering is if the Gorn killed Kirk, would they have brought Kirk back?
Good question.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Would it have died then?
Would,
If
who?
Would the Gorn have? Would they have killed the Gorn? Is that what you're saying? If the Gorn killed Kirk, are you saying the Metrons would eliminate the Gorn captain?
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh.
You're not worthy.
It's a good question.
They're not worthy, Zap.
So the makeup for the Gorn in the original series was a little weird, but it's basically the Gorn was just a reptilian headpiece, body, and scantily clad, shiny
Ooh,
clothes.
hello.
Well, yeah.
What?
A muscular reptilian species.
So, yeah, it was a human-sized Godzilla.
The same chess piece that they used for Khan in
Yeah.
in the Wrath of Khan. No, I'm kidding.
Just kidding. I thought it was a
April
little
Fools.
green. The next bad encounter.
This is horrible.
Yeah.
Borg. Q. Who?
Yeah, the Borg, which we first officially encountered them in the next
Yeah,
generation episode.
officially, because of the events in First Contact. They were in Enterprise, too,
Yeah.
in the episode Regeneration.
Right, and they were in Voyager episode Raven
Yes,
before the events of Q.
because Seven of Nine's parents were investigating the rumors of the Borg.
Yeah.
Mhm. But the first official encounter was Q, which was pretty disastrous because if Q didn't pull us out of there, we probably would have been destroyed, we being the Enterprise D.
I didn't know.
Yeah, not us. I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, I wasn't part
I
of
wasn't even around, I don't think.
What, like alive?
that weekend.
that weekend. Enterprise that weekend.
I was on Ryza that weekend. Sorry, guys.
Hell yeah. But it was, even though, Q pulled him out or whatever, it was still pretty disastrous for the Enterprise. They got a huge hole cut in the saucer.
I love that scene, though, when they pulled it out.
Yeah.
That scene
And
was awesome.
And that model that they used,
Yeah, the cross-sections.
yeah, that was really
You
cool.
should have had, like, people falling out of that section, like...
Well, I think they said that there was a few people that died
Yeah.
Right.
because of that, so.
But did you notice they never do that again?
Well, they cut into the hull.
Pieces out of hulls anymore.
They cut into the hull in Best of Both Worlds. But that's the only other time I remember them cutting into the hull.
I think they did it, though, just because they basically were, like, taking a core sample of their technology.
Yeah, biopsy.
Hmm.
That's what I thought.
Right, yeah. And we see the regenerative properties of the Borg ship.
Yep.
Which is pretty epic. The Borg kept on going faster and faster and faster to catch up with the Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty crazy.
I remember this episode.
Did they even talk about transwarp drive, the transwarp conduits at that point?
No.
No. But they didn't use any conduits. They were just like
It just got really fast.
getting.
They're
really
going
fast.
at ludicrous speed.
Yeah, interesting. If Q, like I said, if Q didn't take the Enterprise out of the situation that he put them in, the Enterprise would have been destroyed.
But he also caused the chain of things to happen. He got them to their area faster.
That's
Right.
true.
Right. So once the Borg knew of the Federation
They got
and their technology, they wanted to assimilate it. So they wanted to come to the Alpha Quadrant. But they were already in the Alpha Quadrant, weren't they?
Yes.
No,
No, was that the Delta at that point?
that was the Delta because
Well, no, but they were
Q took him to the Delta Quadrant.
Yeah.
the Romulan bases that were destroyed in Federation bases along the neutral zone were caused by the Borg.
That was in Best of Both Worlds.
No. That was in.
Yes.
No. It was in
Go back
like, the
and
first
forth.
season.
No, it wasn't. Shut up.
No, it was. I swear to God. They
Nope.
they didn't say it was the Borg, but it was the Borg.
Oh,
Some kind of Swedish people.
They were alluding to, like, they were building up to the fact that the
blurry-
species.
no.
No, it's. I swear. Look it up. I swear. Another bad encounter was Q. Encounter at Farpoint.
Well, here's a question though: Was it really bad?
I don't think it. I mean, it could be bad from our perspective, but Q was really testing us.
Mhm.
He was basically delivering a message like, "You guys better make sure you're ready."
Wake up.
Yeah.
Or you won't exist anymore.
Yeah. Back.
Okay, that's kind of bad when you put it that way.
Yeah.
He takes a liking to Picard so much that I think actually in the end he forced them in a certain way instead of just being like impartial. He wasn't impartial in Best. All good things. Sorry.
All good things. Oh, okay.
Best of both worlds. All good things.
Oh, okay. You're right, Aaron.
Uh-huh.
It was in the finale of the first season, the neutral zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continuing.
The
Kazan.
what? Oh,
The Kazan.
the-
Ashley, you're awesome because you don't know Star Trek. You're the best.
I'm trying!
I know you're trying. The Kazan.
Oh.
What did she say?
Kazan. Which sounds like a magician.
Sam.
I am the mighty Kazan.
Sam.
I was like,
Whatever.
what? You should talk about the
Kazan.
Kardashians. What's going on?
Kim Kardashian. What?
They were a
Hey.
nomadic people.
Yes.
Klingons of the Delta Quadrant.
No, they tried to be, but they weren't.
No,
Oh.
they failed at being it. Although the makeup was kind of similar,
Yeah.
weirdly similar.
Yeah, they had butts on their foreheads.
Yeah.
Right.
Hairstyles.
Yes!
And then their hair was weird.
Yeah, the hairstyles were weird.
But I mean, yeah.
Your
They'll look at my
hairstyle is
hair and be
kind of
like,
weird
what the hell
right
is
now.
that?
At
Yeah.
least they don't have butts as chins. I don't like the butt chins.
The Balchinians. That's another race.
I don't think
Ashley, I totally agree with you. I don't like butt chins either.
And thank God Aaron does not have one. Thank God.
The dimple in the chin.
Hello, I've got the
God,
butt
I
chin.
can't
Yeah.
deal with it. It doesn't look nice.
right.
Just saying.
So the
Just watch that the first alien species that comes to Earth has like a massive butt chin. And Ashley's just gonna lose it.
And their name
I'm
is
gonna
the
kill him.
Their name is the Kazan. Kazan.
So we first see the Kazon in the episode Caretaker, the premiere episode of Star Trek Voyager.
I missed it.
What? You never watched it? No. Yeah, they're dicks. We can say that.
Yeah.
They're very territorial.
If you notice, they're all different types too.
Yeah,
Yes,
clans.
they have different tribes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Kazon Ogla,
Yeah.
the Kazon Nistrum, and others.
And others.
Those are the only two I know off the top of my head.
Yeah,
Because those are the most prominent.
The idea of the Kazon, I think, was good. I just think it was
executed poorly. We can say that.
right. But I thought the concept was very good.
Yeah. And the one thing about the Kazon was they really like to enslave people.
Yes.
Like they had a slave labor.
Yep.
Which was the Trabe, because they conquered their homeworld, and they were trying to conquer the Okampa, which is Kessa's species.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which that was interesting first contact as well with the Okampa.
yeah.
I don't know if you would say that was good or bad.
I don't know. Well,
I mean,
because
taken. People were taken, but that was because of the caretaker, not because of the Okampa.
Right, and the caretaker was also providing the Okampa sustenance and energy, and then Janeway destroyed the caretaker.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So
I guess it
then,
didn't work out well for the Okampa.
well, we don't know. That means they basically had to fend for themselves at that point, and yeah.
That'd be interesting to go back to see how they're doing.
Well, that's one of the things that they're trying to do in the Voyager relaunch novels, because they've got that fleet that's going back to the Delta Quadrant.
Right.
So that'd be interesting to see if the novels go back to the Okampa homeworld. I think that'd be interesting.
Tracing back to where they started from, so the beginning of their journey. That would be a long ways.
Yeah, but again, in the novels at this time, now they all have slipstream technology.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So.
Make it a little easier.
Exactly. But yeah, the Kazon were jerks.
Yep.
And they had like energy weapons, and obviously they had warp drive and stuff, but they weren't as technologically advanced. They were amazed at replicator technology and shields.
They seem a little dumb.
Well, the whole area that Voyager first started in, there was a lot of like not as technologically advanced species.
Which could be the reason why we don't really see the Borg that much in that sector, or that section of the Delta Quadrant.
Exactly.
Because why would they assimilate those people?
Right. Those are good points.
That's the whole key to not being attacked by the Borg. Be stupid.
Duh.
So, like humans, like why?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, folks?
Forget it. Sorry for interrupting, Willie.
I'm a human, duh.
Bueller.
Bueller. So next, the Vorta and the Dominion, I guess changelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, but since the Vorta are the face of the Dominion, we actually first contacted them first.
Right. And that was kind of like a two-faced kind of encounter, right?
Yeah.
If I recall correctly.
Yes. But the Ferengi were the first Alpha Quadrant species to learn about the existence of the Dominion, which was achieved through business dealings with a Gamma Quadrant race called the Dosi. The Federation then heard more about the Dominion when Scaran refugees came through the Bajoran wormhole, having escaped when the Dominion had conquered the Scaran's oppressors, Tiragorans. Following the Scaran exodus, Odo and Dax later learned that the Dominion conquered the Yadarans in 2340. The first official contact between the Federation and the Dominion came in 2370 when Sisko and Quark were taken prisoner on a planet in the Gamma Quadrant by the Jem'Hadar. So
there.
Boom.
So the Vorta we learn later on that they're genetically engineered by the changelings.
They were apes, right? That's what they were.
Yeah, they were like an ape-like species.
Primates.
Right. And then they don't really have a good sense of taste, because why give them a good sense of taste, right?
Yeah, I mean, they were bred basically to be the ultimate like diplomat / jerk.
And just like the Jem'Hadar were genetically engineered to be a fighting force.
Yep.
Yeah, so they really had no strong emotions and.
But the Vorta really, I mean, they believed that the what do you call it?
The founders.
Yeah, they were gods.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, programmed into them.
Yeah.
Well, just like the Jem'Hadar as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, when we first meet the Vorta, did they have like special telekinetic powers that kind of like?
Yes.
Did they?
I remember them having something.
Yeah, there were. I think there's that female Vorta that I remember that had like the psychic type of powers.
And
so
then they
that was
kind of like
interesting.
went away.
Yeah.
Over time, they kind of backed off of that.
But maybe just certain members of the Vorta have that.
That's true. It could be just the female members, because we see more male members than female members.
I bet you see a lot of male members.
Oh.
Do you guys remember what number, how many of Wayun they made? Was it 7?
I think it was like 7 or 8, yeah.
And that was the last one, when they killed the last one?
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot they cloned individual members.
Mm-hmm.
That just became hilarious.
Yeah.
That was funny. And that same actor there, Jeffrey
Combs.
Jeffrey Combs. Really talented actor. I like him.
Do you know what else?
Excellent.
The only other thing I can remember him being in is I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Well, he was in Reanimator. He's in a lot of horror films, yeah. He's primarily known for his horror film acting. Because I see him or I hear about him all the time at these horror conventions. He was at the one here in Chicago last year, but I wasn't able to go.
You like
I
horror?
still want to meet him. He's one of my favorite Star Trek actors.
You like horror?
Not really.
Huh?
But usually at those conventions they have actors that have been in a lot of like genre type of films. Yeah.
Yeah, because they do group kind of sci-fi horror together in a lot of places.
Yeah. Just kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of weird, I included, like, we've got the good, the bad, and the weird, because I thought this First Contact was really strange. And you guys might remember this, because this is considered one of the probably worst end of the Deep Space Nine episodes. From the episode Move Along Home. So a Vulcan ship traveling through the Gamma Quadrant encountered the Wadi, initiating First Contact. An official meeting was developed in 2369 between the Wadi and the Federation of Planets, with the meeting to occur on Deep Space Nine. The Wadi starship with their representative Phallo arrived at the station, marking the first Gamma Quadrant delegation to arrive in the Alpha Quadrant. Commander Benjamin Sisko led the contact. However, Phallo and his crew were more interested in the gaming available in the Alpha Quadrant rather than an official meeting. Mm-hmm. And that's where they put him into that virtual reality game.
Yep.
Put their lives on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And Sisko got really pissed off at him. But in the end, they're just like, oh, it's a game. And so that was a really weird First Contact.
Interesting. I think I put that on my memory.
It was kind of a bad episode. Not a lot of people liked that one.
Was it early on?
Huh?
Was it early on?
Oh yeah, this was like first season.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of bad episodes in the first couple of seasons.
But I thought that was a weird one, that even though they set up First Contact, that this species was more interested in games than actual political advancement.
It could just be a cultural thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're coming to the station for a political reason, it doesn't make sense for them to then go, oh, I'm going to go game. Although it does remind me of a Next Generation episode. I'm not quite sure if it was the First Contact, but there were these aliens that were assigned to different people, and then they tried different, I guess, emotions. Like, there's one that was...
Oh, I remember that.
And he was trying to be aggressive, and then one with Troy, and he was kind of like, oh, I want to try all these chocolates and all this other stuff. And that was kind of a weird... I'm not sure if it was the First Contact, but that was kind of a weird interaction.
It was a weird cultural exchange.
Yeah. Right. That was an interesting episode as well.
But pretty much any time in Star Trek when they come across a new race, that's basically a First Contact.
Right. And, I mean, Captain Picard, like you said, was 27?
Right.
And we saw her a bunch in The Next Generation.
Right.
So, and there was that one in Insurrection where...
Yes, they had the delegation with the very short aliens. I was going to put them in this list.
Mm-hmm. That was kind of a funny first.
Weren't they blue?
No, they were kind of aquatic. They had like the little like flappy gill things.
Yeah.
And it was a female delegation, and there's kind of that awkward moment where he's like, "Oh, we have a dance," and she's like, "Oh, I'm looking forward to it," but she'd pretty much be at Picard's crotch level.
Yeah.
Like that was the implied joke. Anyways.
Right, and like she put this thing on his head, which was
and he said, I remember it because he's like, "Oh, Uchim Chefor," which is their greeting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Picard had to do that a lot, where he had to not use the universal translator and had to speak a foreign tongue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that the first time you saw the dress uniform, the new one?
Yes, from Insurrection. Yeah, the tuxedos.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the end of our list. If you had a favorite first contact and we didn't mention it, too bad.
Or let us know.
Or let us know.
Not too bad.
Let us know, and
you're a jerk.
Onto our next segment, the Subspace Channels, and we got quite a few responses this week.
Can I read the question?
Can I take the Facebook questions?
You can take the Facebook questions. Ashley, do you want to read?
Yeah, the Subspace Channel's question is, if you could make first contact with alien species, what would you say? Dun dun dun!
So, from Twitter, we have @JaffaStar, who says, "Would you like a cup of tea? LOL."
Star Trek.
But would he
Hashtag.
say...
Hashtag.
Or she say LOL, or would she just laugh?
Like laugh in their face. Would you like a cup of tea?
or would you like a cup of tea? LOL. They'd be like, huh?
Hashtag Star Trek.
Right.
We got a number of responses from Facebook.
What was the number?
A lot. Rose Gallo Lefebvre. Is that any relation to...
That's my mom.
Oh. Well, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, Mom.
She would say, "What's up?" LOL.
LOL.
How was she laughing?
Again, is she going to laugh in his face? Or...
What's up? First contact. Next we have Lisa Clark. Said, "Hi, I'm Lisa, and you are..." And then the aliens will probably go, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Right?
Or that.
That way too well, Marty.
Maybe he is an alien.
Next, we have Kyle Mooney from the Four-Eyed Radio Network.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Walk right up to them and take a deep breath and say, 'It's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?' Now, there you go. There you go. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly." And then, bzzz, laser pistol. So I guess the aliens would get annoyed by him and he'd get fried.
And then eat him.
Crunchy. Next we have Dave Segru, who said, "Leave now and take me with you. LOL."
Again, will he laugh in his face?
Nikki McDonough said, "I would ask about religion, God, heaven and hell, angels, and if any of this is the same with them or whatever they believe." Ashley Wong, I don't know who she is.
I don't know either.
Something wrong with this one.
And you would say, "Hello, take me to your leader."
But after a long pause,
No.
after a long pause of hello, then I would say, "Take me to your leader."
But isn't that what aliens are supposed to say to us?
I don't know.
But we are aliens to them.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Why can't it go the other way?
Let me see your captain.
We talking
Now.
still talking about Star Trek there?
Darmok. Next, Nat Allen said, "Nice ride, LOL."
Stop laughing in their faces.
Right?
I think aliens are going to hate us when they get here. They're like, "Why are they laughing at us?"
I know, right? Nice ride! Ha 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 ha!
Ha.
What?
Ha ha ha. I laugh at you.
Winnie Mann said "jing jing" whilst throwing up the Asian peace sign.
I thought when I heard while throwing up, I was like,
And then the aliens would take that as the standard greeting, so then they'd puke every time they see us. That's horrible. Matt Renfro, also of the Four-Eyed Radio Network, said, "I'd probably say, holy no way, and then LOL." This is a lot of LOLing.
Yeah. Right? I guess
And then-
everyone is laughing in their face.
And then Johan Smedbaka said, "Earl Grey hot?"
Question mark?
You don't need to say the question mark.
I thought I did a pretty good inflection of a question. Earl Grey hot?
What? You know, I was going to put in on that on Facebook today.
Where are you now?
But I didn't do it because I didn't think you'd understand what I was going to say. You know what I was going to say? I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
Okay.
Did you get that?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I've disappointed you.
Marty, do you want to take the Google Plus question answers?
So this would be Paolo Sambuki? Sambuki?
Yes.
Sorry.
Do you want some food? Smiley face. How do you say smiley face?
You could just smile. That doesn't go over well in a podcast, though.
Yeah. we have to mention that he would smile after he says this.
Jacob Bridenbecker says, "Come back in 100 years. The human race still sucks." That's it.
I kind of like that one.
Yeah.
We're not ready yet. See you then. No. The gentleman scholar says, "Run. There's more of my species coming."
I like that.
Federico Cerisi? Okay, let's get you up to speed. To understand human civilization in this era, you will need to watch Jersey Shore's first season. If you want to leave or attack us afterwards, I'll understand.
Wow.
That's a good one.
It's horrible. I would never want them to watch that show.
Rex
Yeah,
Rivers.
they probably are intercepted the transmission.
Yeah. Rex
Oh,
Rivers says,
dear.
"I would ask if they had anybody named Calgon." You get that?
I don't get the reference. I don't know.
I don't get it either.
Take me away, Calgon. Have you ever heard that?
No.
It's an old commercial for women's hair. I think it was hair stuff, and it was called Calgon. And they would basically say, "Calgon, take me away," like to, whatever. Look it up.
So you have
Yeah,
to be old
if
to know
we don't
this
get it, the reference is too old for us.
Apparently.
Okay, so Osvaldo Doderline. Hi, I'm Earth's ambassador. Before our species can start official contact, you must answer three questions. Standard protocol to validate a minimum level of civilization visitors. Once you have answered these three questions confidently to me, I will take it to the UN for deliberation. The process is kind of slow, so you can return in 100 years. The questions are:
This is complicated.
1.
Yes.
How can you unify quantum physics and gravity? 2. How to cure cancer, poverty, and hair loss? And 3. Can you predict next week's lottery results?
Yes.
Well, of all of them, I think 3 is the easiest to do. Okay, that's a good set of questions for it. Daniel Price says, "You've come for the one called Justin Bieber, right?" God help us know.
Take him away.
Okay, so Dragika Rankovic says, "I, for one, welcome you, our new microbial overlords." Microbial? Are they that small? Okay, James Gardman says, are your reproductive organs compatible? That's very, very, very important.
That's what I want to know.
Captain Kirk would ask that.
Andrew Riley says, "Will you take me for a ride?" I'm leaving that open to interpretation.
God.
Okay, so those are some really good questions. I mean, some really good answers to the question that we posed. So, Aaron?
So, yes, those were interesting answers. Thank you, everyone, for responding. And we're sorry if we butchered any names
Respondez-vous, s'il vous
along the way.
I don't think we did. I think we got nailed all of them perfectly.
This one, what's this name here? John?
So, what puts my quantum state into flux?
But you didn't even answer the question.
What question?
Good question.
We don't answer the question.
What?
We've done it before.
You've done
Alright,
it before,
okay,
I
so
said-
before
I
we...
told you what mine would be.
Alright, so, Eric?
I would just say, hey, what's up?
Hey, home slice.
I guess I would
Daddy Burns.
try to show that I understood mathematics. and
That's a
then-
very logical rule.
Right.
That's a very geeky answer right there.
Yeah, well...
There's actually a whole article out there that what you have to do if you encounter an alien species, or otherwise it makes the human race look completely dumb.
Mhm.
So there's like this whole like checklist of things that you have to do. It's to prove to them that we're actually worthy.
Yeah, that we're not dumb.
Yeah.
We don't want them to think we're dumb.
Basically, we're doomed.
Apparently, that's what it seems like.
If they don't nuke us on the first day,
So, what puts my quantum state into flux? So, prior to the Enterprise premiere, it was generally inferred that first contact between the Federation and the Klingon Empire occurred in 2223. It has since been retconned that the first contact occurred in 2151. Now, I'm generally okay with this change, though in dialogue in various episodes, it points to a more aggressive, hostile, what is probably a space battle, as the first contact.
Now, where was it stated? Why is it inferred that it's that particular date?
Well, they mentioned it on Memory Alpha, and
in the shows of the movies.
It comes from, I think, a line that Spock said in The Undiscovered Country. He didn't say the exact date, but he said like
70 years ago.
70 years ago.
You referenced
Okay.
So it kind of made people assume that first contact between the Klingons was on that date. And I think it's in the old versions of Star Trek: The Encyclopedia. It has that as the first contact with the Klingons.
I thought you were going to say the Old Testament.
Not that old.
The Old Testament. The Star Trek Old Testament.
And then
And then
they got blown out of the sky. To be or not to
Can I
be.
ask you a question, Aaron?
Yeah.
What is retconned?
retconned is when in a movie or episode they change the events differently than when it was first originally
So basically changing the canon.
Yeah, they're changing the history of the events.
Okay, I just never heard of it.
So it's basically like
Picking it up.
retroactive continuity. That's what it is.
Okay, retconned. Okay.
Yeah,
Right. Obviously not that big of a deal
right.
that they changed first contact. I mean, it was kind of a obscure line that Spock made, and then you just assume that's when first contact was. And
Well, it's 22-23. If you think about it, that's too close to the original series and the movies. I would think they would be around much longer than that.
Well, it's 40 years before the original series.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I mean, they were bad guys. I mean, they were...
They're
Bad guy.
bad guys.
They were
They're
bad
guys.
Bad
They
guy.
didn't like each other, obviously. I mean,
They would smack each other.
40 years, I think, would have been enough time to, have had a relationship with another species.
But now they made it 70 more years on top of that.
Right. And I'm okay with it, I guess. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
I don't care.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't care
I
either.
think it's fine.
Yeah.
I really liked what Enterprise did in showing us early Klingons.
Yeah.
Early Klingon.
I definitely liked... I didn't really like the first introduction to the Klingons that we had in the premiere. I didn't really like that episode, but
No?
premiere episodes are kind of like that anyway, because you have to, get your footing, if you will.
You need something big.
So, like, the episodes with the augments, I thought were really good. The Klingons and the augments. Those were good. And there were some other episodes with the Klingons, like the one we mentioned earlier, when they got the holodeck technology.
Yeah.
I mean, that I didn't really care about that episode.
I didn't like the Klingons in that episode because the one Klingon said, "Oh, I can see my house from here." It was like, really?
Oh, from the
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't remember that. He said that?
Yeah, that was so dumb. Anyways.
So that's what puts my quantum state into flux this week. So thank you everyone for listening, and until next time, I'm Aaron. You can find me at Nova Charter on Twitter.
I'm Ashley, and you can find me at Lil Cute Girl 86. That's LIL Cute CUTEGIRL.
86 on Twitter.
Yes, on Twitter.
WI. I'm Eric, also known as TrekkieB47 on Twitter. I'm not going to spell it out.
Little in the front of her
I
handle
know.
might get people caught up.
And I'm Marty, and you can actually find me on Twitter at Candidate Marty.
Even though he never uses it.
I never use it, but you can find me there. You can also find me at the Wilshire Theater on Thursday, November 27th.
Oh, Marty.
So thanks. Keep on trekking. We'll see you next time.
Woohoo!
Oh, yeah.
Not enough woohoos in this episode.
No.
Woo! Let's make up for it now. Woo!
Woo!
All right, I'm going to use his saying then, Trekosaurus Rex.
What?
Oh, you say it with such enthusiasm. Trichosaurus Rex.
Trichosaurus by Riker's beard.
By Riker's beard, I stab at thee.
You have been listening to the Starfleet Escape Podcast on the Four-Eyed Radio Network, where you can catch a new episode every other Monday. You can find us on the web at sfescapepod.com. Follow us on Twitter at sfescapepod. Like us on Facebook.com/sfescapepod. And add us to your circle on Google Plus by going to google.sfescapepod.com.
This has been another great presentation by the Four-Eyed Radio Network. You can find more information at foureyedradio.com.